across the Litani River. Denmark's ambassador to the United Nations has called it a dangerous escalation and condemned Israel's offensive.
While Israel has the right to self-defense, this must be exercised in accordance with international law. We call for full respect for Lebanon's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. This includes withdrawing Israeli forces from South Lebanon. We also reiterate our strong condemnation of Hezbollah's continued attacks against Israel and underline that these attacks must stop immediately. All parties must respect the ceasefire. We continue to support the direct talks between Israel and Lebanon and hope that they can pave the way for lasting peace.
All right, Al Jazeera's Gabriel Elizondo is live for us at the UN headquarters in New York. So, Gabe, what's been said inside the Security Council chamber thus far?
Yeah, that's right. This meeting has just concluded in the last few minutes. It was a long meeting. We monitored every single minute of it. And I think the consensus was what you just heard from Denmark's ambassador was clearly the consensus by the vast majority of council members, one after another, condemning Israel's incursion and occupation in Lebanon and its violation of Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We even heard that from the UN briefer as well, a top UN political affairs official, Assistant Secretary General, saying that Israel's actions must stop, and Lebanon saying that it is also a clear violation of UN Security Council's Resolution 1701. Now, France, of course, called for this emergency meeting. They are the pen holder of the Lebanon file on the Security Council, which essentially means they are in charge of any issues related to Lebanon when it comes to the Council. The French ambassador very clearly saying that, of course, Israel has the right to defend itself, something that we hear over and over again. But the French ambassador said that his country flatly rejects any actions by Israel that of occupation of any territory of Lebanon or even the buffer zone, if you will. So that is what we heard over and over again. Now, the U.S. ambassador to the UN took a different approach. He said, and I'm just going to read you exactly what he said. He said, the path is clear. Hezbollah must stop attacking Israel. The Lebanese armed forces and the legitimate government of Lebanon must assert their control over Lebanese territory, and Iran stop using Lebanon as a forward operating base. So the U.S. pivoting all of this to Iran.
So, Gabe, it was the French, as you said, who spearheaded this meeting. What was the concrete aim that they had hoped would come out of this? And did anything concrete actually come out of this?
Well, hanging over all of this, of course, is the backdrop is, of course, the talks that could happen Tuesday and or Wednesday in Washington, D.C. between authorities from Lebanon and Israel. So there were many council members that were basically trying to give support to those talks, knowing that they themselves in the council meeting would not be able to resolve this. But this was the form, as is often the case for Security Council meetings, for the Security Council members to state their country's position clearly. And I think we heard that, and I think there's clearly some benefit to that. As we talked about, the Council has already passed Resolution 1701. Israel is clearly violating that. We heard from Council members basically saying that Hezbollah is as well. But we heard from the Lebanese ambassador, and he basically told the Council, please come out and condemn Israeli actions. The Council must do that. Now, of course, the Council in of itself as a group would not do that, but clearly individual countries as council members clearly did do that. But really, the council members as a whole put their weight and their support behind these talks in Washington that are expected to kick off this week, really saying that that is the best potential form for the guns to be silenced.
Let's see if it has any impact. Gabriel Elizondo for us there at the UN in New York. Gabe, thank you. The future of Iran's nuclear stockpile remains a